Hello everyone, this is me Sai13. Welcome back to my channel Heart It Out with Sai. Today I came up with a video, and this video is sort of something which I really want the parents, even this generation kids who are our future generation parents. I want all of us to learn, and even the current generation parents who are dealing with children, who have children, I want them to listen to my video till the end and become mindful parents. And why it is important is what I'm going to talk about in today's video. I hope you all listen throughout it and learn something good. So the other day I was going to college. Early in the morning I came out of the house and I was walking through the lanes of my house and heading towards the bus stand to take my bus. And I witnessed a mother grabbing a child, her child, and taking him, a male child, taking him to the bus stand. Maybe because of he was dressed up in his school uniform, so he was about to, I figured out that he was about to go to the school, and the mother, being very frustrated, very angry, grabbing the child, forcing the child, and pulling the child in a bad way, using cuss words, shouting and yelling at the child, hitting the child on and off in his head, slapping the child, and saying a lot of words in her language. She was a South Indian lady, and in her this Kannada language, because I'm staying in Bangalore, so probably in this language, she was in a very, very rude way yelling at the child and grabbing him and pulling him towards the bus stand. And this child, I observed the mother as well as the child I was walking behind them. I observed the child was silently taking all those, not reacting, not yelling back, or not behaving in a rude way as the mother was. And the child was very fearful, but was taking it silently, the abuse. The sort of physical and verbal abuse. Now the child is around age. The child was 9 or 10 years old approximately, if I'm not wrong. And seeing those sort of a behavior from a mother or a parent, apparently somewhere it triggers me emotionally. I was feeling a sort of anger towards the mother, but again, I was witnessing from far, and I wanted to talk to the mother, but I was also in a hurry, and she was also in a hurry, and she was not in the right mood. I felt. And my father was accompanying me towards the bus stand that morning. So I was telling my father, what should I do? Should I go and stop her, and should I approach to her and say that this is not an acceptable behavior? But then my father said that you are getting late, and if you right now go and talk to her, it won't be a nice thing. So what I did was, I purposefully started talking out loud with my father so that she can hear, and eventually she did what I said. And I started to say my father that how parenting is, and this sort of a behavior is not acceptable to the society, and sometimes it can, also people can take legal actions and steps against such parents. These are there. India might not have a foster home facility for children, but abusive parenting and parents who are abusive, no matter it's mental abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse to a child, to your own child. You may be the father and mother, and you may be the parent of your own child, but biological parents, but doesn't give you the leverage to abuse the soul. It's not your property. When I started saying out loud that this is not socially accepted, such a behavior from a parent, and apparently it's also, there are legal consequences can happen, she stopped beating the child and she started walking fast, and eventually she gave the child to the respective school bus the child was about to go. But then I purposefully wanted to make this video because I have a YouTube channel, and it's not something which I'm doing for money. It's not something which I want to gain popularity, or I want to become famous for. I want people who are watching my YouTube videos. I'm very thankful for my audience. I want to grow this community, and I want to educate each and every person out there in India and the world to know how to become more mindful individuals out there. And I want each of you to understand your roles over here in this world, in the various aspects, in the various things you're doing. So being a mother, I can understand it's very difficult nowadays. There can be, I personally don't know this person who was beating the child. Maybe she had a bad day, she had a hard time, or maybe she is getting a lot of abuse from her spouse. May happen. And the displacement of anger is passing to the child as a defense mechanism. But we need to also understand that being a mother, it may not be easy, but how we communicate with the child is important. I absolutely can understand the fatigueness of dealing with a child as well as working in the household, taking care of others in the family setup. It's very challenging for a woman. But does that give a leverage to abuse your child because you are very fatigued, because you're going through so many things? I do understand that there can be your own issues, your own mental health. Sometimes we might not be aware of what we are going through, but there are always help. There are always ways to know how we are, what we are doing, what is right, what is wrong, why we are doing things. There are ways to vent out your anger as well. But is it a very necessary thing to, displace all of your frustrations into your child? First of all, for the women, if they are going through traumatic life or spousal abuse, there is always a place for them to go and complain against domestic violence, and I would encourage women to do that. If you are going through abuses from your spouses, there is an option. You can always raise your voice and go out and speak to people, seek help, complain about it, because no matter what, any sort of abuse is not acceptable. So don't be in there. Don't be and face it and, just move on and just keep thinking, okay, it's happening, it's fine to happen this way. It's not fine to happen this way. You should have your autonomy in the relationship. And coming back to the child, what can a 9 or a 10-year-old do to upset you? I very well understand that the conduct of the child may upset you in several ways. Maybe he's not doing good in his academics. Maybe he's not waking up at time early in the morning and you're frustrated to wake him up. Maybe he's missing out on something. Maybe he is yelling or shouting, or maybe he's being difficult with other children. Maybe you're getting complaints from his school. Maybe you're, tired of his not eating habits, or there are several other things which goes on. There is always a way to reinforce the child with punishments, positive punishments, with reinforcements, negative reinforcements. Now, negative reinforcement can be the child which he wants. So a child may love something to do, taking away that stimulus for some time, for some interval. Suppose, for an example, negative reinforcement would be, suppose a child likes to play with a certain toy or a gadget or screen time. If the child is not behaving or not having a right conduct as you expect from the child, take away the screen time, take away the particular toy and say that for this much of time, I'm taking away this if you're not behaving in the way I expect you to be. Positive punishments would be not hitting the child or verbally abusing the child. It is something which you, suppose the child is behaving in a way which is not right, which is not acceptable. What you do is, you make the child understand this is not right, and then you say that this weekend I'm not taking out or not taking you to the park this evening because you're behaving in such a way which is not correct. So you need to behave in a particular way which is correct, and you tell them what is wrong and what is right. Otherwise they will be confused. They don't know what to do. You tell them, being an adult, you have to be communicating with the child in a calm manner, in a positive way, and say that this is not right, this is right, this is wrong. And if you're not fulfilling these sort of expectations, then I'm not going to take you for a park. I'm not going to take you out in the weekends. I'm not going to make you your favorite choco pie. This sort of things will make the child understand that, okay, this is not something right and this is my favorite thing, so I won't get it. But that won't make the child fearful and anxious. So when you are behaving with your child in a calm way, the child will learn all the good things. The child will also eventually become calm and positive and understand that, okay, my mother, my father has been so kind with me, so I should fulfill their expectations. But if you behave in a very angrily or anxiously, or you behave with the child in a way which makes the child more confusing, which makes the child feel fearful, and the child will not be able to communicate with you openly. You won't also know where they're doing the mistakes, where they're going wrong, because the child is not comfortable with you. You need to make your own child comfortable with you. And if you're not being an adult, not behaving in a right way, how would you expect the child to become a good person? We want our children to be best individuals, but are we good as parents? Adults are the most difficult people out there now in today's world. We are not good with our relationships, we are not good at our work life, we are not able to become great parents. What is going on with us? We don't even know ourselves that better. How can we expect a child to know themselves better? When we ourselves are confused as individuals, when we ourselves are not aware as individuals, how can you lead a child? to become great individuals out there. First, the learning should come from ourselves. Question yourself, are you a great parent? Are you doing justice with your child? I want all parents to understand one thing. And I always say a child is like a clay. If you want a kind of a pottery of your choice, you have to shape it well. And shaping a particular piece of pottery, it is a sort of an art. Parenting is an art on itself. So you need lots and lots of creativity in you. You need lots and lots of patience in you. Can you build the patience? How can you build the patience? By being more mindful as parents, by being understanding your communication patterns, by being listening more to the child's needs, why the child is behaving. Ask them, talk to them, listen to their problems. I understand you go through lots and lots of adult issues, work-life things, stress, this, that, meeting deadlines, taking care of the household. It's difficult sometimes. Take a pause, reflect on yourself, and communicate in a healthy way with the child. Because nothing else in this world matters more than your children. I think being a parent on its own has lots of values in it. Bringing a child on earth is a very difficult job. And a parent gets that sort of a blessing from God to bring a soul into this planet. Please be mindful. Please become compassionate parents and see how beautifully the garden will bloom with beautiful, colorful flowers. I have faith. I have faith in all of you. You can do it. With that note, I will end this video here, and I hope you all have learned what I meant to say and understood it well. And I want you to go back and reflect on the things which I said and do the needful. And subscribe to my channel, Heart It Out with Sai, and see you soon in the next video.